Hi, my name is Michelle Pritchard. I'm the owner of Evolution Pilates. This is Janet. Hi, I'm Michelle Pritchard. I'm the owner of Evolution Pilates in Pittsford, New York. This is
This is rotten.
This is Rochester. Okay. Hi, I'm Michelle Pritchard. I'm the owner of Evolution Pilates in Pittsford, New York. This is Janet. She's an instructor here. And we're going to do a 15-minute beginner Pilates mat workout for you. So I'm going to have Janet start by lying on her back. I'm going to have you lie with feet parallel, hip width distance apart. And let's start with a few pelvic peels. So we're going to inhale to prepare and exhale. She's going to peel the pelvis up one segment at a time. She stops when she has that rib and hip and knee in one straight line. Exhale, she lowers back down. We'll do 3 more like that. Notice that her knees stay parallel. At the top, she's not popping her rib cage open. And she's beautifully articulating through her spine. She's not moving in one segment, but she's really trying to work through that upper back, then the middle back, then the lower back, and rocking back to that neutral pelvis at the end. Just one more. Exhale as she goes up. Inhale at the top, and exhale to slowly lower back down. Great. I'm going to have Janet float her right leg up to tabletop, left leg up to tabletop, and we're going to squeeze the legs together, keeping the arms down at your sides for support. We're going to do supine twists. So both legs come to the right as she inhales, and exhale to center, and then left on the inhale, and exhale center. So we're warming up obliques here a little bit. Notice that she's got this beautiful 90-degree angle at the knee and hip, that she's keeping her shoulders anchored as she lets that lower body twist. And this doesn't have to be big, we're still warming up. One more time. Great. And now I'm going to have her take the right foot down to the table. We're going to leave the left leg here. We're going to do femur arcs. So this leg keeps the 90-degree angle. The leg shifts down toward the mat on the inhale and exhale to lift it back up. And repeating that on the same leg. So what you can notice here is that she's not changing the position of the pelvis as she lowers that leg. And then set that leg down, and let's do 4 on the other side. She's maintaining this neutral position of the pelvis and spine as that leg moves in space. And that's because she's engaging her abdominals slightly. Last one. Great, hold that leg, lift the other leg up to meet it. So now she's going to squeeze both legs together and do 2 legs in those femur arcs. Inhale down, exhale to lift. If you feel discomfort in your low back, keep it smaller. Your feet don't have to go all the way down. Or stick with the single leg version until it's more comfortable. 1 more after this. Inhale as she goes down, exhale to come up. Now she's going to set the feet down one at a time. And let's just practice a little breathing. So take your hands to your belly, and I'm going to ask her to inhale and really fill the lungs east-west, and exhale, drawing the navel in towards the spine without changing that natural S-curve of the spine. Right, so we're not thinking about pressing the low back into the table, into the mat. Good. 2 more like that. We're just expanding and then drawing that abdominal wall in to support you. Last time. Great. And then she can take her arms back down to her sides, and let's do a little stretch. The feet wide on the mat. We'll still keep the knees bent and take feet wide. Yep, and drop both knees to the right. And just a little stretch here. Janet's really flexible in her hips, so your legs might not go all the way down to the mat, and that's fine. And just breathing there, and then take the other side. Okay, just enjoying that stretch. Great, and coming back to center. So let's walk the feet back together, and let's take a parallel hip width distance, and let's take the hands behind the head. So we're going to do a little chest lift next. If you have osteoporosis, this is not an exercise for you. You We don't want to have a weighted flexion on the spine, so skip this one. Inhale to prepare, exhale, curl up in the chest and lower back down. So Janet's bringing her rib cage closer to her pelvis in that curl up, right? She's not leading with the neck. In fact, I'm going to ask her to push her head back toward her hands a bit. Inhale to lower. 2 more. Beautiful. And last one. And she's going to hold right there and now rotating toward me and back to center and the other side and back to center, and then lower the chest back down. Great. Again, exhale to lift and rotate toward me and center, other side and center and back down. I'm going to have her do it 2 more times. This time rotate toward, oh yes, great. And rotate. And notice she's not moving her pelvis or her legs. She's really isolating those upper abdominals. And rotate and center and back down. Great. I'm going to have her put her arms back down to her sides, and we're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling. So if your hamstrings are tight and this leg wants to stay bent, that's okay for now, but you're going to work toward that long straight leg up at 90 degrees. We're going to do leg circles. So the modification here is with the knee bent like this. If you are more flexible, you could lengthen that leg, but I'm going to have her keep this for today. So she's going to take that leg slightly across the body and then down, circle, open and around, and stop center each time. And this leg we want to keep really still. And again, it's the abdominals doing that stabilization of the pelvis. 1 more, and then the other direction. So she's going to take the biggest circle she can while maintaining this beautiful neutral pelvis and spine. If you feel your hip moving all around, take it much smaller. Last one. And set that leg down. Other leg goes up. Great. And take that leg across the body first and circle. Good. I'm going to have her take her hands to her hips. And you can feel, if you feel this hip moving around in space, again, we'll take it a little smaller, maybe a little slower. Last one. Other direction. Great. And relax the shoulders and neck. You don't want to be holding tension there. We're trying to work abdominals, not the neck, right? Last one, and set that leg down. Great. Hugging both knees into your chest. Just take a little rock side to side. You can lift the head or not. Great. Again, if you have osteoporosis, I'm going to ask you to keep your head down throughout the workout. Let's do one more stretch here. The right heel across the left knee, and she's going to hug that thigh into her chest. Okay. This might be enough of a stretch for you. It might be too much. You could leave that foot down on the mat. Would you show that? So you could let go, and if that's enough for you, start there. If you want a little more here, and if this is still not enough, you could extend that leg up. Great. So this is a stretch for the back of the right hip. And we'll hold that for about 30 seconds. And then you can set that down, and let's do the other side. So first we'll leave the foot down. Maybe that's enough. Next, I know Janet's flexible, so she can lift that leg and extend this leg up. Great. So our hips get tight, we sit too much, and this is a great way to stretch a little bit and open things up. And great, you can set that down. All right, so next I'm going to have Janet take her right leg long and just hug that left knee into the chest. Great, and then circling that ankle. Let's do the left ankle. Yep. Nice, slow, full circles. Again, trying to work on range of motion and flexibility in the body. Other direction. And then she's going to carry that leg across the body. A little twist, opening that left arm out to the side. Great. And then coming back to center, you could hold that longer if that feels good. Switch to the other knee into the chest and circle this ankle. Great. Other direction. That left leg is really long, right? So she's really stretching through that support leg as well. Take that across the body, opening the right arm out to the side, and just enjoy that stretch. Coming back to center, I'm going to have you roll onto your side facing the camera. All the way down on your side, she's going to lie palm up, head down, and let's bring the legs slightly in front of you. So, right, we're stacking the hips one on top of the other. Remember, flex both feet, and we're going to lift the top leg up just a few inches and back down. Exhale to lift and lower down. Now there's this mouse hole I want Janet to think about. So right underneath on the mat side, right? So she's not collapsing through the abdominals, but staying long and supported. Good. We're going to do 2 more. 2, and hold there. Point that toe. Bring the leg forward and back, just a few inches forward and a few inches back. And we're trying to go the same distance forward and back without rocking around in the pelvis and spine. So what Janet's doing really well here is she's moving from the hip, not from the back. So you want to stay nice and long. This distance between your rib cage and pelvis shouldn't change as the leg moves. Right? Last one, and hold that leg back. Hold it center, sorry. And now circling, little circles for 5, like the size of a basketball. 3, 2, other direction, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that down. Great. And I'm going to have her turn over, still facing the camera, head this way. Same thing on the other side. So we have the legs again slightly in front of you, that little mouse hole on the underside of the body, and no tension in the neck. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. If you have a mirror and you can do this in front of a mirror, great. You want to see this distance remaining the same as you lift that leg. 2 more. 2. And hold the leg up. Point through that toe. Reach the leg forward and back. And the hips are stacked, right? You also don't want to be rolling back and forth. Another great assist that I use sometimes is I do this up against a wall, and you won't be able to go back with the leg, but you'll feel if you are rolling back and forth away from the wall. 1 more, front and back, and then hold that leg side and little circles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other direction, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Great. Next, I'm going to have Janet roll on her belly. We're going to do a little back extension to finish. So hands underneath your forehead. And I'm going to have her squeeze legs together. Inner thighs are active. I'm going to have her draw the belly button up towards the spine. Abdominals are active. I'm going to ask her to slide the scapula down the back. So these muscles of the back that help depress the shoulders are active. And from there, she's going to push her hands into the mat as she peels up through the head and upper cervical spine, upper thoracic spine. Just to about there, and then segment by segment, she rolls back down. It's small. It's a small movement. I want you to protect your low back by keeping this from mid-back up, right? So we're not going in. She's got a beautiful range of motion in her full back extension, but we are just working that upper back to start. So she nods the head forward and then moves through the upper back to the middle back and then back down. And 1 more time like that. And she's pushing her hands into the mat to give her a little bit of help, a little support, and back down. Great. Next, I'm going to have Janet bring her arms to her sides. So arms are long and palms facing the body. So we're going to do similar. This is called dart. She's going to, again, nod the head and then lift up through that upper back, reaching the hands long behind her. So she's got a little less support now without those hands helping, and back down. Same thing, inner thighs connected, abdominals drawn in, and we're still trying to work through that upper back and back down. I'm going to have her go a little smaller this time. So head, upper back, keep this down and just lift the heart toward that. Yes. And back down. 1 more time like that. Exhale to lift up. And lower back down. Great. So we have one more exercise. I'm going to have you come to all fours, please. We're going to do a little cat and cow, just a little stretch it out articulation. So she has her knees right under her hips, her hands right under her shoulders, and she's in her neutral spine right now. I'm going to ask her to exhale and draw the belly in and move into this flexed position in the spine. And then inhale into her extension, right? So I'm going to have her think about exhale, drawing the tailbone and forehead toward each other. And inhale, drawing the tailbone and the back of the head toward each other. And one more time like that. Exhale to round. And inhale to arch. And coming back to a neutral position, I'm going to have her sit back in a little child's pose and just take a rest. So that was our beginner mat warm-up. I hope you enjoyed it. We have a more advanced mat warm-up next if you want to piggyback onto that and enjoy some more. Thank you. Thanks, Janet.